victims under VGQ, and VGQ means Victims Guaranteed Qualification. So the gentleman or whomever it was that wrote that has that qualification to say exactly what he or she, I mean, if it was a lady doing it, what, or a group, what they said. They are qualified to say that. That's a viewpoint. And the listeners should take that as being a valid viewpoint if they choose to do so. You think about it. I'm thinking about it. Is that a valid viewpoint? Is it constructive? Is it the way to go? Should we act on that? Consider all of these things. Yes, because it's being said by people who are also victims of racism. Mm-hmm. Under BGQ, Victims Guaranteed Qualification, you're qualified to say anything about your victimization. Anything that you want to say about race, racism, and or what to do about race and racism. As a victim, every non-white person on the planet is fully qualified to say anything about race, racism, or counter-racism. So that is a viewpoint that everybody should take into consideration. With what I have written, I'm going to stick with it so far because I see no reason to change it, and that is that, yes, as prisoners of war, you do have prison riots. You do have prisoners who don't care about other prisoners. This is true in every prison. I don't care what kind of prison it is. You always have a huge number of people who don't care anything about the fellow prisoners. You know, they just exploit, beat up, have riots against, steal from, tell lies on, just do anything against the fellow prisoners. But if it's an illegitimate prison, the entire system is illegitimate, then you can expect all these things to happen within the prison system. That's the compensatory viewpoint that I have taken. And you really are not going to solve that problem by engaging in chastising fellow prisoners who don't care about their fellow prisoners. Why? Because you have to answer to the warden. That's why. The warden will decide how far that riot will go. There have always been prison riots. And prisoners, I mean, just beat up on each other, stab each other to death, and all like that. And then they go whimpering. And when it's all over, when the smoke clears, when all the debris is cleaned up, everybody goes back to their cells, and then the warden comes around and says, now, it's my time. You all through rioting? You all through tearing up the place? You all through going at each other's throats? I don't care. Okay. But I am going to chastise those who participated.
Okay, now we saw
you have to answer to me. So, see, we have to understand the prison system. The prison system is designed to allow all of this. And so, therefore, if you're not dealing with the prison masters, you're not dealing with anything.
Okay.
See, so black people have always found reasons to try to make a shortcut, because that's what I see it as being, because that's exactly what it is. In other words, we don't know what to do about the prison masters.
Right.
So, therefore, we attack fellow prisoners.
So
that has never worked.
Okay, so
I mean, it's a short-term feel-good, and you do put a lot of people in their place temporarily.
Okay. Temporarily.
But then the people who run you put you in your place, which is right back where you started from.
So
then you got to start all over again.
Right.
You know, and so maybe next year, after all the prisoners heal their wounds and all like that, then you prepare for another prison riot against your fellow prisoners. Oh. But you have not changed the prison system at all.
Okay, so then
nothing has changed.
So then, what was the compensatory logic result of what they did? They being this prison riot.
Oh, the result was just a whole bunch of black people that killed each other, and you don't have to have a reason to do that. You can do that anyway.
Because it went back to the same thing as
black
it was.
People can kill each other without a reason.
Yes.
The white supremacists always enjoy that.
Exactly.
Or you can come up with a reason saying you're a sellout.
So
all right, and then kill black people.
So there was
all right, and then after you get through, the prison masters, the white supremacists, come around and say, hey, you did a pretty good job of killing your own people because they were causing so much disruption among you. But now you got to answer to me because you are all my prisoners, every last one of you. So now you got to deal with me.
So
and since I didn't start this riot among your people, you know, what you call your people, and you getting rid of all these sellouts, and since what you have now left, since you killed all the sellouts, and what you have now left are black people who you say are not sellouts, who are dedicated to the cause, you still got to deal with me, and you are still under me.
Yes, sir.
So you could have dealt with me in the first place without dealing with anybody, but you didn't have nerve enough to do that. So you need to tell yourself the truth. You're playing games.
Like you said,
you are thinking that getting rid of other black people is going to solve your problem. No, you got to know how to deal with me, and you're afraid to do so.